Now previously I did a list of the people I actually didn't want to be in Smash Brothers, and people seemed to like that. There were quite a lot of opinions back and forth, and there were quite a lot of people supporting Rayman. I don't know what's going on, I don't know what you've been drinking, Rayman sucks, but that's just my opinion. But it's nice to see that people have been putting their thoughts across. But today I decided to do what I actually, who I actually want to be in Smash Brothers. It's not what I think is going to be in Smash Brothers, it's who I would want if I had my own choices. And I was debating doing this over 2 videos, but I've decided just do one, just get all the thoughts out there. There are going to be some characters you're going to be like, what the absolute hell are they going to be included? There are going to be some of the usual ones that you might have seen, but there are going to be ones who probably you wouldn't even thought of. But this is my gaming history. Remember, Smash Brothers is a combination of all gaming history, and I think they would be quite a good laugh if they were in here. As always, if you do like this, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Please, before you hit a dislike because you don't like what I'm saying, just hit a comment. I'm happy to have an argument with you, or a nice, gentle discussion with a bit of abuse if you want to go down that way. But, it's all good banter at the end of the day. I'd like to hit 4,000 subscribers until Christmas, but if that happens, fantastic, and I can show the wife that this is actually good, something I could actually do in the future. Right, I've rambled on a little bit, and I know I ramble because I don't really do much editing with these things when I'm doing rants. I'm just going off a bit of paper that I have done in work, but I shouldn't go on. Right, so first on the list is Agumon. Agumon from the Digimon series. Now, yes, Digimon's got a big history alongside Pokemon. It's been considered its main rival. You can probably say that Pokemon's stolen quite a few things from it recently, but the games itself never really lived up to the hype of the Digimon games, unfortunately. The anime is a far better thing than Pokemon. My god, it's so good. But the thing is, Agumon has great personality. He actually reminds me of Gon from Tekken 3, if anyone ever played that. He's a Japanese character, comic character that was in. Doesn't matter, it reminds me of that. And I think his final move, his final Ultimate Smash move, he could warp Digivolve into War Greymon, which would be absolutely fantastic. I think Agumon would have no problem fitting in quite easily. His design would be easy. He's in video games for a long time, and it would be really good to see Pikachu versus Agumon. I think that would be an absolute great battle, which people would love to see. Next up is Conker. Now, first introduced in the Diddy Kong Racing series, Conker was meant to have his own little game similar to Banjo, but the project was scrapped for whatever reason, and instead you got Conker's Bad Fur Day, which for me was one of the best games ever. It was fantastic, it was rude, it was crude. My god, there was so much swearing in it, it was great. And if anyone ever played that game, there was a scene in the Matrix at the end, and it was amazing. And I'd imagine if Conker was in it in Smash, he'd have a costume where he was dressed up as Neo from the Matrix, and it would just be superb. I don't know. The only thing I think with Conker is that why he won't get in is because Banjo's already in, and I think that, well, let's be honest, he's not going to meet that rating, is he? Because Conker is rude, he's crude. He is not going to be what Nintendo really want to have if you want to have it everyone in-game. I think it's the same problem with Doomguy. Doomguy's best ripping people up. I think Conker's best off vomiting and peeing everywhere. I don't think that's going to be it, unfortunately. Next is Leon Kennedy. This is one of the ones I thought that people will probably be saying, and I do agree with it. I would like Leon Kennedy in, mainly because Resident Evil 4 is in my top 10 games of all time, and Jill and Chris, Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, have already had representation. They've already been in the Marvel games, or Marvel the Capcom games, and I think it's decided to get Leon in. Let's be honest, Leon in Resident Evil 4, they redefined the genre. That is now a fantastic game, and it literally brought one of my other favourite games, Dead Space 2, is very much based off the formula of how Resident Evil 4 plays, and I do think it's time he finally gets some recognition and he gets his own little fun game. Next is Chrono from Chrono Trigger. Let's be honest again, like Resident Evil 4, Chrono Trigger defined gaming. It really showed how you can show a good story. I know that Squaresoft at the time do good games, but my god, with the artwork from Akira Toriyama, the guy who makes Dragon Ball, it was fantastic. I think Chrono would fit in, the silent protagonist. He would be in. I think he'd fit in very well. I think the problem is he's not going to be in because of the fact that the hero is already in. But I do think Chrono is groundbreaking. I think Chrono Trigger is always up there. If you're talking about top 10 games or games which have the most impact, it's always up there. At least top 5 in the Super Nintendo or whatever country, Famicom, whatever place you're living. But I think Chrono would fit in without a problem. I think he'd just walk in there. But again, I don't think it's going to happen because the hero is already in. Next, Shadow the Hedgehog. A lot of people have been saying this one, and I think it makes sense. He is essentially the Vegeta version of Sonic. I don't see him as a main character, though. I would love him in there, don't get me wrong. I actually have a Shadow Teddy on my desk. Someone's going to throw it out, and I'm not throwing that out. I want it. It looks the shit. It sits on my desk and it's cool. It takes up half the bloody space, but I don't care. I'm having it. It was free. The thing is, I think we've only got one Sonic rep at the moment. It'd be nice to have a second. I know we've got Tails and Knuckles as Mii fighters, and that also means I don't think they're going to be in the game. But the problem is Shadow is already an assist trophy, and I don't think assist trophies are going to suddenly drop from assist trophy to character. This is the reason why I don't think Waluigi's going to be in the game. I would love to see Shadow then, but I just think if he is going to be, he'd be an Echo Fighter. Simple as that. His moveset will be very, very very similar to Sonic's. I don't think you can really differentiate the two, as they're very similar apart from Chaos Control. So yeah, I'd love Shadow, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Alex the Kid is now next, another Sega mascot. He is such as old school. Probably people on this list don't know who Alex the Kid is. If you do, fantastic. Alex the Kid was one of the first games I played back in the day. It was a free game on the Master System. Like, you literally closed the lid over and played, and you got Alex the Kid. Bloody hard as anything, though. My God, it was a rock solid game to finish. Alex the Kid, again, he's not in my top 10 list, but I think if he was in there, I'd go, right, that is a History of Gaming one. And there's one, some of them I would lose my mind for, and some of them I'd be like, I can appreciate that, and he's one of those. He's I'd appreciate that if it was in there. Next, another one people have been saying, and it's one of the ones I'd lose my shit for, is Crash Bandicoot. I think Crash Bandicoot has got to be in here. I said this, I'll keep saying this, Crash has to be in. He is one of the ones that defined 90s gaming. First started with Naughty Dog on the PlayStation. It was platforming, it was the new way you could do platforming. It was, you could mix the linear, and then you can mix the 2D sense, the 2.5D sense, and it would work perfectly. There's no way Crash would just fit into this game. And also you'd have that match between Mario, Sonic, Crash and Banjo, four of the biggest platforming characters at the 90s. There's been a massive essentially resurgence with Crash with the Insane trilogy that came out. It's been on all the consoles. They have a very good relationship at the moment, I think, that with Crash and Nintendo. I know Crash 4's come out. I've not got it yet because I'm still playing the Insane trilogy, and my God, it's at the Dark Souls of game platforming, when you want to put it like that. Next is, I should say, actually going back, Crash, I think, is one of the ones who will be in Smash Brothers. I think he's probably got a dead set place. We'll talk about that in another video. I think we'll go in who I think will be in it, but I think Crash is, I'm going to spoiler, he will be in it. I just can't see him not being in. Next is Isaac. Isaac was in the Golden Sun series. Now, I really didn't know much about Golden Sun until I picked it up, and I loved it. I absolutely love Golden Sun. I love the idea you can actually finish the game and then transfer it to the new one, but I never managed to get hold of the second game. I think it was a difficult game. I enjoyed it, and again, Isaac falls in that same problem as Shadow. He's already an assist trophy, so I just don't think we're going to get it. I know people have wanted him, but I just don't think we're going to get it. If I don't get him as a character, at least make a bloody game. I think it's about time we have another Golden Sun game, Nintendo, if you're listening. Next is Gordon Freeman. Now, I didn't play Half-Life 2. This is one of those ones like, I appreciate that. I didn't play Half-Life 2. My best mate did play it, and he said it was one of the best games I've ever played, and I understand that. Half-Life 2 had a huge impact on gaming, on our first-person shooters. It was, SPS. It was incredible. And it's one of them, if you're saying that Smash Brothers is the ultimate combination of gaming history, Half-Life fits that bill. It really does. It still holds up to this day, and I can't go past him. I don't know much about Gordon Freeman. I don't, but again, it's one of those. I appreciate that, and I think he'd fit in, no problem. I think they can make a moveset out of him. Next one, I think I would lose my mind for this guy, and again, I don't think anyone's even put this on their list, is Sparkster, the Rocket Knight. I don't know if anyone ever played this back on the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive or Sega Genesis, and what part of the world you are. It was amazing. You'd have this little guy, little knight costume where he could fly around in a rocket pack. It was awesome. I had so much fun playing this on the Mega Drive. And, if he was in this game, he'd easily work. He would, if you've got, I suppose in theory, any of these characters would work. You've got bloody Steve in there, and if Steve's working quite well, you can have Sparkster flying around and be going around his rocket pack with his sword sticking out. Yes, it's another sword character, which I don't like, but I don't care. If Sparkster win it, I'd lose my shit. I think Sparkster would be brilliant to say, oh my God, but I imagine if Sparkster happened, the internet would revolt because there isn't so much that backing that Steve might have. Next, Lara Croft. Now, again, this is one who I think, it's a gaming history one, but I do think Lara Croft, if anyone ever played Tomb Raider, let's just say the old school one, presided a massive impact, and it was because of huge guns and the huge level designs. they were the reason that we liked Lara Croft. No, to be fair, Lara Croft, the Tomb Raider series was interesting. It was bold. It was, having a female protagonist, a strong female protagonist, but they were good. They actually made you think. And I haven't played the recent Tomb Raider series, and I haven't played Tomb Raider for a while, but I appreciate Lara Croft should be in there. Again, another female character, but Lara Croft had a huge impact on gaming. I really just, I ignore the boobs. But as for the game, the level design, that has definitely gone on to influence other games. The Uncharted series definitely had a huge impact, and I think Lara Croft fits that bill of history very easily. Again, going back to characters who have such an impact, Master Chief, and I mentioned this in the last video where I think Doomguy wouldn't get in, but Master Chief would. Yes, I do think that Master Chief would go in, because this goes back to Doomguy is far too violent. I know you could probably mix it a little bit, but I think Doomguy would be too violent, whereas Master Chief wouldn't. His moveset would be very easy to do. Look, if Xbox are buzzing about the fact that or Microsoft, I should say, Xbox and Microsoft buzzing at Steve, on Twitter, they're going to be buzzing, and Bungie, or it's not Bungie anymore, I don't think, is it? Is it 343 Studios? Someone will correct me in the comments. They will push Master Chief, and I'm sure he has been on the discussion table. I really do think he will have been on the table. I loved Halo. I actually bought an Xbox. I'm not an Xbox fan, but I bought it just to play Halo. I remember playing the games, and you're fighting the aliens. I can't remember what they were called at the time. But then all of a sudden, you got to fight the Flood, and they just come out of nowhere. And now every time I hear they take that song, The Flood, you should hear it. Great song, Robbie's Return. But every time I hear that, I think that is actually about these ain't about Halo. And I remember the band actually had to come out and say, no, this song is not about an Halo bad guy, which I thought was brilliant. But Master Chief, I'm just kind of ranting here. Master Chief, he'll fit the bill. He'll easily go in. He'll be another Samus-esque character, and we haven't had a shooter for a while, so I think Samus, he'd be fantastic. Sorry, Samus, Master Chief would fit in fantastically, and you can imagine if they did do a reveal trailer, Samus will be all over it. Dark Samus will be all over it because it just fits that bill. So probably Ridley as well. Next is Goemon. I think I pronounced that correctly, from the Mystical Ninja series. Look, this is one I would lose my mind over, and I probably more so than Crash, but probably because I don't think it's going to happen, because he's already a Mii fighter. I don't know if anyone ever played the Mystical Ninja series. There were two games on the N64, Mystical Ninja 1, Mystical Ninja 2. Very, very different games, but Mystical Ninja 1 was so good. Oh, Mystical Ninja 1 was so good, and I loved it. It was an RPG with massive robot fighting elements, and it was just superb. It was literally, it was like I was tripping on acid, and the whole time I loved it. Mystical Ninja 2, very rare to get hold of. My god, that was a hard game. That game was hard as balls. I could never finish it. It was more of a side-scrolling platformer, hard as balls. But again, I would love to see Goemon in the game. I don't think it's going to happen because he's already been in it. As a Mii fighter, I have downloaded it. That's the thing with Mii fighters, and I just wish they made him more skins. Okay, we got Bomberman, we got the Vault Boy, we got Sans. Why can't everyone else be like that? Why can't Tails and Knuckles, Goemon actually look like that rather than have that stupid Mii face? I think that would please me more. Because then I'd feel, yeah, I've got Knuckles in the game. Yeah, I've got Tails in the game. Just remove the skin. Maybe that's something they may do for another game. I don't know, as in the future. Probably one of the last ones we'll be going through, which everyone else has probably said, is Dante. Yeah, look, we can talk about Dante all day long. From the Devil May Cry series. Again, I love Devil May Cry. It's brilliant. He's got guns. He's got swords. He's a demon. It's brilliant. His games are fantastic. I love them. It's just absolute chaos. My brother's more of a fan of Devil May Cry than me. He was hugely into Devil May Cry, and I know the games are rock solid the further you go on. But he's been in Marvel vs. Capcom. He was obviously wanted there. He's very popular, and he's very popular here. Or there's a massive backing for Dante, and I can see why. I think he is one of the stronger contenders to get in. I think if he ever did a reveal, you'd imagine you having the Castlevania vibe. I think he'd be an easy one. I think people would lose their mind if Dante came in. I can see him in there. Would I lose my mind as much? Probably not. Compared to Goemon or Crash, he wouldn't be one I'd lose my mind over. But I would still appreciate him being in there. I don't know what I was going to say to this one. Lemmings? Did anyone ever play this back in the day? Lemmings, okay, look, these little creatures. This is a classic game on the PC. I think it was back on the PC years and years ago. I never played Lemmings, but I understand the cultural reference. and I would laugh my head off if this game hit. I'd piss myself laughing. Again, I wouldn't want... Do I want him in there? It'd be funny. It'd be funny if it was in there, because you can imagine probably my generation would be laughing their heads off, and another off, what's this? I consider like the original Minecraft, the type of gameplay. Well, it wasn't like Minecraft, but it has that feel to it. I don't know why, I don't know what it is. But Lemmings is a huge thing. I've got a mate in the office who's playing it at the moment, and he loves it. Again, Lemmings... It'd be funny, it can work, surely it can work. Again, if Steve can work, anything can work. There is nothing that Smash can't do anymore. I think it's fair game. So Lemmings would be funny, just more than anything. I'd crack open a few beers to that one. This is one I would lose my shit over. Very easily would lose my shit over. And his name is Abe. Abe from the Oddworld series. I don't know if anyone has ever played the Oddworld series. I imagine anyone my age probably has. Back in the day when PlayStation came out, Abe's Odyssey came out, and it was superb. It was a puzzle game, platformer, and it was amazing. That is the animation still holds up today. I think if you played that game now, it would still hold up. Even if you played it without HD graphics, it would still hold up. It was hilarious. It was quite violent as well. But you could go into other people's bodies. You could then make them explode. The guy had a button. I think it was circle for farting. You press that button, you farted. It didn't do anything else but fart. And if you farted, everyone else around you go hee 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 hee. And they used to communicate with farting. This game is so good. I can't get over how much I would lose my mind if Abe was in the series. I don't think he ever threw punches or anything like that. He didn't. He wasn't that sort of character. But it'd be so funny to see this little Abe running around, throwing punches, farting. Again, I don't think it's going to pass the usual level and the guardianship thing, or that's not the right word. You know what I mean? Censor sponsor. I don't know. I'm trying to think of words. I haven't even been drinking. I played football later on. Mine's kind of gone. But Abe would be amazing. I would love it. I would lose my mind. I'd get the champagne out if I saw Abe. It's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. But oh my god, it would be superb. And again, going on the same theme of random games, which I don't think are going to be in there, but I'd love. And a very, very rare game, which not many people know of. I've barely spoken to anyone who ever knows this. Is called Hack. Hack was a series of games where you can actually jump. It was like a RPG hack and slash sort of thing. And the main character is called Kite. Now, I don't think Kite will be in. I think his design's fantastic. He'd easily fit in. He kind of reminds me of the guys from Xenoblade. He easily fits that mold. The games itself are amazing because you'd finish one, then you can transfer the data to disc 2, and then let the story continue. It wasn't disc 2, it was game 2. I think 5 games, which is incredible, really, because you don't really see that sort of thing even now. But it was incredible. I did enjoy the Hack series, and Kite, his design is ace with his dual blades. He looks awesome. It's one of the best designed anime character, or not anime character. Oh, he has been in the anime. There was an anime. He did make an appearance in the last episode, which is like a special. But he's one of the best game design characters I've seen in a long time, and fantastic. Again, I don't think it's going to happen. I would love it, but would I lose my mind compared to Abe? No, I'd really be happy, but I don't think it's going to happen just because people don't know. Probably the one I would lose my shit over the most, more than anybody in this whole thing, and this isn't even the last one, is the Knight from Hollow Knight. Yes, I'm going here. I love Hollow Knight. It's in the top 10 games I have. I actually probably need to do a list at one point. It's in my top 10 games. I saw Hollow Knight, bought it for nothing, and it has engrossed me. It is a fantastic game. It is a game where I probably nearly had the divorce over, because I'm like, what do I choose? Do I choose the boss? Or I should say the queen. Do I choose the queen, or do I choose the knight? And I'm probably more likely going to go with the knight. Gives me more fun. Ooh, don't tell her I said that. But he would fit in with ease. He would fit in with absolute ease. If you played the game, he's got moves. His moves would translate fantastically. The swipes, he's got like a charging attack, which you can get everyone in a circle, not a problem. He's got projectiles. He's got an up smash. You can see he's already got an up smash. He would be a perfect fit. He would jump straight in. People argue, well, he's only had one game. Well, so what? Sans only had one game, and he got a skin. And there was a massive following for Sans, and I guarantee there's a massive following for the Knight. And let's be honest, this is an indie game. Indie games haven't had much representation, and again, this goes back to Smash Bros. Is meant to be a combination of all things gaming. Having an indie character in there, where it was made by a Kickstart project, would be fantastic. I don't think we'll see the knight in any other games. That's not trying to spoil the story, because he's not in the second one. But it would be amazing, and I have anyone lose it if the knight was in. I think he's going to be a Mii fighter. I think he'll be a Mii swordsman. That's what I've honestly always thought is going to happen. If it became a Mii fighter, love it. But we'll wait and see. I turn my paper over here, so we've got a few more left. Next, this isn't going to happen. This isn't going to happen, but oh my god, I would lose my mind if this happened. Earthworm Jim. Now, I don't know if anyone ever played the Earthworm Jim series or saw the TV series. The Earthworm Jim games or TV series. It was incredible. You've got a normal standard worm who suddenly has a battle suit fall on him, and he becomes Earthworm Jim, fighting space pirates and everything. It was amazing. There hasn't been a game in years. The cartoon was fantastic. He was in Clay Fighter, which is one of the worst games ever made to man. But look, the games were amazing. They were unique. It was like SpongeBob and Ren and Stimpy combined. It would work very easily. I think about stages. The stages would be fantastic. And, you know, he'd easily go in. He's got moves. Like, for God's sake, he'd use his head as a whip. That's what he does. He grabs the suit, grabs his head and uses it as a whip. It would be hilarious to see him in. Do I think it's going to happen? No. There's just not the following Earthworm. You know, again, it's probably my era that understands Earthworm Jim. It's not going to happen. Talking about worms, there is also another worm. The worm from Worms. I don't know if anyone ever played this. It was massive again in my day. Worms was an army game, and we usually play with your mates, and you just try and kill yourself. You usually have a party of like 5, and you just literally cause chaos. It's brilliant. Worms still holds up today. It's a very simple game to play. You can lose your friends very easily playing this, but oh my god, is it a funny game. You had items like the Super Sheep and the Holy Hand Grenade, or Kamikaze, you know, normal rockets. I'd lose my life playing that. I played hours at university playing Worms because it's just so much fun where you can hear your mates going, "Oh, you knobhead!" and you've just killed them. It'll kill their team. Brilliant. Again, is it going to happen? No. But my god, it'd be funny. Again, that's one I find funny if it was in there. This is a stupid one, but again, if we got a piranha plant in there, why not have this? Echo the Dolphin. It's not going to work. It would never work. But again, it'd be, what the hell? How are they going to make this work? Why did I put Echo the Dolphin there? Well, Echo the Dolphin was one of the ones I butted my head against the wall and went, how do you play this game? I don't know what I'm doing. I played it on the Mega Drive and I had no idea what I was doing. And I think if this happened, people would probably really try and throw their console out the bin. It'd just be funny to see this dolphin flopping around everywhere like a piranha plant. It's not going to happen, but it'd just be funny to see if it actually could work. And the next one is Sakura from the Street Fighter series. Love her. Absolutely love Sakura. She's my favourite Street Fighter character. If you're going to have any other Street Fighter representation, put Sakura in. For the love of God, put Sakura in. She's my favourite Street Fighter character. I lost it when she finally got into Street Fighter 5. She easily fits in. She is more female representation. Ryu and Ken, they are basically the female clone. She's faster, but she's not as strong. She'd easily fit in. She'd be awesome. Get her in. Look, I don't need to say much about that. I would lose it. I would absolutely lose it if Sakura got in the game. There's no question about that. These next two, I think, have a good chance of getting in. Solaire of Astoria. Now, Dark Souls 1 is in my top 5 games of all time. It is incredible. I think Solaire would be a great choice. There's something about Solaire's positivity in the series of always looking for the sun. And considering Dark Souls, everything is going to shit. That's the best way of summing up Dark Souls. Everything is going to shit. The game's dead hard. I think I loved it because I think it was one of the first games I actually thought, wow, this game is not holding my hand. And Solaire is probably the best representation. He is, I'd say, the mascot of Dark Souls. Everybody loves him because they have the praise the sun meme. Hell, I've even managed to teach my little daughter Hiccups. And no, her real name is not Hiccups. People keep asking me, it's not Hiccups. Beside that, I managed to teach her to praise the fan, because I don't want her staring at the sun, but I can praise it to do the fan in our roof. And every time I say praise the fan, she lifts her hands up and it's brilliant. So that's the influence I'm already getting on my daughter. But going back, Solaire, yes, a sword character, and I don't like more sword characters, but I don't care. Solaire would be awesome. I think Dark Souls is a point where it really is a turning point for video games. Now a lot of people are trying to replicate that fact and replicate how successful it was. Solaire would be amazing. I think people would lose their mind if Solaire was in. Do I think he's worth it? Yes. I damn well think he's worthy to be in there. People have already been putting up memes I see on Smash Brothers groups of him saying, "I'm sorry, I've got to go now. Somebody needs me." And it just looks awesome. He's got his Smash Brothers invitation. He would be awesome. You wouldn't need to worry anything past the censors. It would get through because he's not particularly violent, and you can get away with just a sword character. What his final smash would be, probably something to do with the sun. Like the sun would come down and destroy you, but it would work, and I would lose my mind if he was in there. Final character. Now, if you know who I am, and I love Final Fantasy VII, that is my favourite game of all time, so obviously I lost it. I had Cloud's in, life done. It's obviously Cloud's alter ego, which is alter ego, his nemesis, Sephiroth. Sephiroth is probably the ultimate bad guy in my opinion. I think he is fantastic. He is well written. His design is amazing. I think people again would lose their mind. Look, I look at the guy and he makes me question my sexuality, more so even after the games got remade and you had the movies where, oh my god, he just sounded so cool. He produced one of the, hang on, right, spoiler, if you don't not played the game, you don't want to be spoiled, stop now. Come back in about a minute, right, stop now. He finished off Aerith, which is probably one of the most shocking moments in video game history. I probably should have told them when to come back. Oh well, they'll figure it out. It produced one of the most shocking moments in video game history, where a character received a permadeath. Yes, this has happened in previous Final Fantasy games, but it just felt so wrong and raw when it happened in Final Fantasy VII. And although it should be dead when he killed her, it was a clean blade. Don't know what was happening there. Obviously, Aerith is made of bubblegum. But Sephiroth would easily work. Well, I suppose the only problem Sephiroth would have, his sword is ridiculously long, but saying that, Cloud's is as well, so I reckon it would work. If there's going to be any more Final Fantasy VII representation, it should be him. I can't see anyone else. I would put him in. People would lose their mind. It would work well. You'd get great clashes, and it would look great. It would be absolutely great for the series. Bad guys are always welcome, and I think Sephiroth would make it a good thing. Like I'll say it, again, I do want some of the Mii fighters. They'd be in there. I'd love Son, I'd love Tails, I'd love Knuckles, but I just can't see that happening. I really can't. I do want characters such as Goku, Spider-Man, Ichigo, Naruto, the Turtles, but I know that's not going to happen. Because they're comic book characters, they are not gaming characters, and this is a combination of all things gaming. I would love to see them in there. I think if Goku went in, that'd be a massive statement. Goku, I want more than anything, but I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I want it, but it's not. Now, if you're going to say, and I will finish this off shortly, who out of the ones I want, out of this list I want as my final four, because there's only 4 more left, and again, this is not who I think is going to be, it's who I want. I would say Crash Bandicoot, and I'm changing my list again. I had it written down, I'm actually changing it. Crash Bandicoot, Solaire, Hollow Knight, and who was my other one? And Abe. I say Hollow Knight, the Knight. So Crash Bandicoot, the Knight. Did I have? Yeah, Solaire and Abe. They would be the ones, if I could have my ultimate 4, that would be the 4. Do I think others are going to get ahead of them? Yes, I think they are. But if I could have those 4, I could probably end my life there, as I've literally achieved everything I want. Even more ahead than Hiccup's getting married. I've achieved the things I want in my life. Now, no one is going to agree with that. I can guarantee there's no one in the world who's going to say, oh, those 4 characters are exactly the ones I want. And that's great, that's fine. Argue with me, comment, let me know what you think. I like having a chat with everyone. Literally, I've done this in one take, well, near enough one take. I had to make sure I pronounced Solaire's name correctly, so I did pause it once. But look, I'm loving these games, and I'm loving anyone's got ideas for rants you want me to do, let me know. There'll be more videos coming. I said I do like doing this. But until next time, I've been HBT. I probably need to go to bed and have a shower. Bye-bye.